For thousands of years, there's been one structure on Earth that has absolutely baffled historians, scientists, and, well, pretty much everyone: the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's not just a monument to a lost civilization, it's a monument to a mystery we still can't solve. So let's just dive right into this ancient puzzle, shall we?
To really get a handle on this, let's start with a number: 2.3 million. The Great Pyramid is built from an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks. Now, if they built it in the 20 years everyone says they did, that means workers would have had to quarry, shape, and perfectly place a new block every 5 minutes, 24 hours a day. The logistics are just completely mind-boggling.
And this is the real kicker, the question that fuels every single debate. Archaeologists have found zero evidence that the ancient Egyptians used the wheel for construction. So, how? How in the world did they pull off one of the greatest engineering feats in human history?
Okay, so before we even try to get into how they built it, we have to talk about what they built, because the precision of the Great Pyramid is, by ancient standards, seemingly impossible.
Now, what's so wild about this is we're not talking about a rough, close enough alignment. No, the structure is oriented to true north with a degree of accuracy that is almost unbelievable.
In fact, get this, the pyramid's alignment is more accurate than many modern compasses. They achieved this thousands of years ago without satellites or GPS. I mean, that suggests a crazy deep understanding of astronomy and mathematics, right?
And the math just keeps getting wilder. Some researchers have pointed out that if you take the pyramid's original perimeter and divide it by twice its height, you get a number that's ridiculously close to 2 pi. Now, a lot of Egyptologists will tell you, it's just a coincidence. But that level of precision, it's really hard to just brush off. It kind of feels like they were embedding fundamental mathematical constants right into the building's DNA.
Which brings us right back to that huge question of how. I mean, if they had all this advanced knowledge, how did they actually apply it? Physically, this is where the debate gets really heated.
And just to keep us grounded in reality here, we are talking about millions of blocks, each one weighing more than a car, some of them as much as a school bus, and they had to lift these things hundreds of feet into the air.
So, how did they do it? Well, the most common theory is these massive external ramps. But here's the problem. A ramp long enough to reach the top would have to be over a mile long and would contain more material than the pyramid itself. Okay, so what about an internal, spiral ramp built inside as it rose? That's another idea. And then you get into the really out there stuff, like sound levitation. The truth is, every single one of these theories has major flaws, which is why the debate is still so intense.
But you know, the mystery isn't just about the construction. It gets way deeper when we stop asking how it was built and start asking why. What was the pyramid's real purpose, and what secrets are still locked away inside those stones?
The standard answer you'll always hear is, of course, they were tombs for the pharaohs. But there's a huge problem with that theory. No mummy has ever been found inside any of the main Giza pyramids. The burial chambers were discovered totally empty.
So this has led to a major split. Was it a royal tomb that just got looted a long time ago? Or did it serve a completely different purpose? Some theories suggest it was a sophisticated astronomical observatory, while some more speculative ideas propose it was some kind of ancient power plant.
For centuries, the only way to find out was to, physically drill into the pyramid. But recently, science has given us a new way to peek inside. It's called muon radiography, and it's super cool. It basically lets us X-ray the pyramid using particles from space.
And in 2017, a team of scientists did exactly that. They scanned the Great Pyramid, and the results sent absolute shockwaves through the archaeological community. They found something that no one, and I mean no one, ever expected.
They discovered a massive, previously unknown void deep inside the structure. It's over 100 feet long, located right above the Grand Gallery, and it remains completely unexplored. What it was for or what might be inside is anyone's guess.
And that's not the only missing piece. The pyramid's original capstone, the very top, known as the Ben stone, is gone. Ancient legends claim it was made of solid gold or had some kind of mystical properties, but its true fate remains another unsolved piece of this giant puzzle.
The pyramid's mysteries, though, aren't just confined to its stones. They extend outward to the stars, and they've even crept into our own modern myths and legends.
I mean, the cosmic connections are just undeniable. The layout of the 3 Giza pyramids on the ground, it perfectly mirrors the 3 main stars in Orion's belt.
And, even more incredibly, there are these narrow shafts leading from the inner chambers that point directly to specific stars like Sirius and Orion, stars that were absolutely central to the Egyptian religion of rebirth and the afterlife.
Of course, you can't talk about ancient Egypt without mentioning the mummy's curse. This legend just exploded in popularity after the 1922 opening of King Tut's tomb. The expedition's financier, Lord Carnarvon, died from an infected mosquito bite soon after. The media sensationalized it, and the legend of a pharaoh's curse has been with us ever since.
So when you put all these pieces together, the impossible precision, the construction debate, the hidden chambers, the cosmic alignments, it leads some researchers to a final, much bigger question.
Because Egypt wasn't the only place people were building pyramids, not by a long shot. You see similar structures popping up all over the world, in Mesoamerica, Sudan, China, maybe even Bosnia, though that last one is pretty heavily debated. So, could there be a connection?
When you consider the laser-like cuts in the granite, the ability to transport 15-ton blocks, and all that encoded mathematical knowledge, it all points to a level of sophistication that just seems way out of place for the era. And this has led some folks to a very radical theory.
What if these weren't all just independent inventions? What if ancient pyramid-building cultures around the world were all drawing from the same well of knowledge, a knowledge inherited from a single, lost global civilization that we have yet to rediscover? That remains the ultimate question mark at the heart of the world's greatest mystery.